and welcome to Season 2 of a new podcast from Northern Power Futures and United Utilities. If you're finishing school, college or university and thinking about starting an apprenticeship, an internship or a job, or if you're in the first couple years of your career, then this podcast is for you. In this season, we look at how time spent in lockdown is anything but wasted time, and how by using your time wisely, you can keep focused on your career, grow your skills and your network, and come out of this stronger. We've been collecting your questions and then reaching out to experts and professionals to get some great advice tailored just for you. In this first episode, we're looking at the foundations of your career, from a brilliant CV to a great online profile. How should you best present yourself to look the business? Let's get into it.
So, I want to use this time to make sure I have a really good CV. Any hints or tips?
Debbie Francis, Non-Executive Director, Consultant and Executive Coach. This is a really good opportunity to spend some time making sure you've got a great CV, but there is a lot of conflicting advice out there. When I look through CVs, there's a few must-haves. This is because sometimes when applicants are being initially whittled down, I'm sorry to say, but the reader often doesn't get past page 1. Because of that, for me, the must-haves are as follows. Early in your career, the CV should really be no more than 2 pages. And even when you are, 100 years through your career, it still should not get past 3. You need to save something for the interview. Grab the reader on page 1. So make sure the personal statement, the key skills and the key achievements are all there on page 1. Then you can use the rest of the white space to go through the work history and the qualifications.
Does a CV always have to have a personal statement? I never know what to put.
Hi, my name's Abby and I'm a capability and delivery lead at United Utilities. Yeah, so I think you should definitely include a personal statement. The CV isn't just about showing how well qualified you are or the amount of relevant experience that you have. Your CV should reflect who you are as an individual, and you should be able to demonstrate your personality right the way throughout it. However, the personal statement section is a great way to share things which are more personal to you, such as your beliefs and your values. This is the first way for a company to see if they think that you'd be a good fit for them. And in terms of things to include, think about your personal brand, what makes you you. Think about the environments that you work best in and the type of work that you find enjoyment from. These are all the things that when put together make a great personal statement. Try and steer clear from the cliche sayings such as being a dedicated, hard-working individual, as nearly everyone says that. Make yourself stand out from the crowd, and one trick I've used in the past is to use some anecdotes from personality profiles that I've had done on me, which I think truly reflects the individual that I am.
Is there anything I should leave off a CV?
Richard Talbot-Jones, Managing Director, Talbot-Jones Limited, Chartered Insurance Brokers. CVs should be used to portray you in the best light possible, so you should use it as an opportunity to showcase and highlight your strengths and achievements. You should be honest, so try to focus attention on your positive experiences that address the person specification for the role you are applying for. You don't need to give reasons for leaving a previous role. Gone are the days where a person had a career for life. As an employer, I expect to see varied experience. I appreciate that there will be highs and lows on your journey. What I'm looking for is that you learn from them both. A key part of your CV is your educational background. It's okay to fail an exam or qualification, but a prospective employer doesn't need to know you tried and failed, unless that failure can be leveraged positively to your advantage. The hobbies and interests part of your CV gives a prospective employer an insight into who you really are. Don't waste space telling me you like watching TV or socialising with friends. I'd rather hear that you're a movie buff or your hobby is cocktail mixing. Show purposeful activity and achievements you're proud of.
I've worked really hard to get a decent CV together, but now I don't know what to do with it.
Alex Russell, Managing Director, Property Alliance Group. You've now produced a fantastic CV and you've got to get it out there. What you should do, as well as sending to all the relevant HR teams at the companies you want to apply for jobs, you should do some extra research and look up who the Managing Director or Chief Executive of that company is. You should then attach with your CV a personalised letter to that person, highlighting why you think you'd be a fantastic addition to that company. Another way of making your CV stand out from the pack would be to include a picture of you doing your chosen hobby. When I applied for my first job, I included a picture of me doing some racing. Not only did that get me the interview, It also formed the first few minutes of the interview and broke the ice. I found this very helpful and it helped me get the offer.
What are the best online platforms to start building a business profile?
Hi, my name is Advita Patel and I own an internal communications and employee experience consultancy called Comms Rebel. The best online platforms to start building your business profile, I would say it's very dependent on where your audience hangs out. So depending on what profession you want to work in or where you're working already, you need to try and find out where they're kind of hanging out. So if you're working, for example, a fashion brand, or you want to work in a fashion retail place, then you might want to consider Instagram or TikTok, where some people do hang about. If you're looking at a more corporate role, like a law firm or financial sector, then I'd suggest you hang around on LinkedIn and build your profile there. Twitter, I would say, has mixed views, but it's a really good place to build your personal brand. So find out where your audience is hanging out, where they like to hear information from, and go to that channel.
What's your advice on how to fill in a LinkedIn profile? What should I put?
Sean May, Graduate Future Leader, United Utilities. Your LinkedIn profile is where you can add all the details you've had to leave off your single sheet CV. While it's important to be concise, including any work experience, volunteer work, or roles you might have held can just catch someone's eye. So be proud of what you've achieved and show off. But remember, you don't need to go all the way into the details. Capture what makes your experience interesting or unique. And often people may only see your title or summary, so make sure that they reflect the best of you. Treat the summary as that interview question, tell us about yourself. That'll help you tell the story, and the connections and endorsements will follow.
Lucy Wright, Social Media Account Manager at More Media. On LinkedIn, the first thing that people will see is your name, your headline, and your profile photo. So if your current job title is relevant to the industry you're pursuing, make that your headline. If you want to become a graphic designer and you're currently an intern at a graphic design company, that should be your headline. If you don't feel like your current position is relevant to your industry, let's say you've only just graduated or you're looking for a career change, consider a headline that conveys that. Something like graphic design enthusiast, Photoshop geek, digital artist seeking a next opportunity. Make sure your profile photo looks professional but friendly, and your banner also gives you an opportunity to show off who you are. I've seen some people use their LinkedIn banner to display a quote that they really love, or perhaps an award they've won, or just a simple graphic with their name and their job title.
I'm really worried. I don't have a lot of experience. What should I put in my work history on LinkedIn?
Melissa Woodall, Employer Brand Manager, The Very Group. So when it comes to the work experience section of your LinkedIn profile, if you don't have a lot of work history yet, maybe you're just at the start of your career or you've just left university or school, what you can concentrate on is looking at any volunteering work you've done, any other projects that you might have worked on, or perhaps some work experience or placements. Those you would have picked up skills within there and great experience that you can showcase as part of your sort of online CV. And then I'd also spend some time building up your connections and growing like a valuable network, because sometimes it's not kind of what you know and what you've done, it's about who you know. So I'd definitely spend some time reaching out to friends, previous colleagues, people that you maybe have gone to university with, and that could be a good way to start some conversations, get yourself out there, and then new opportunities might arise from that.
Hi, my name is Paula McMahon. I work for Sir Robert McAlpine as the Regional Supervising Officer, looking after people to develop themselves to get professionally qualified. If you don't have a lot of experience on LinkedIn or your CV or any other platform really, what you should put is what you have done and the skills that you do have. You will have skills that you use in and around the home. Have you looked after siblings? Do you go and do the shopping for your neighbours? Have you had what you would call a part-time or job like working in a cafe or pub where you've actually had to use skills such as communication, listening, people relations? So think about what you have done at school, at college, and transfer that into skills that you can use into the workplace.
Do I need a picture of me at work for LinkedIn? I'm not in work yet.
Claire Talbot Jones, Managing Director of Talbot Jones Consultancy. I used to be really intimidated by LinkedIn until I realised that it's actually a very powerful place when you are authentic. Your lack of workplace experience can genuinely be a real asset to an employer. Things like your fresh eyes, different perspective, unique skills, energy, enthusiasm. You can be really proud of that. A rule of thumb is to avoid snaps from nights out with your mates or soulless passport photos. Instead, choose a picture that shows you and how you take your professional development seriously. That could be a quality picture of a proud moment, like receiving your Duke of Edinburgh award, a relaxed but confident, well-lit headshot, or an inspiring picture of you working towards a goal that you're really passionate about. Show your personality and be proud of it.
A special thanks to everyone who sent us a question and to all the people who took time to give us their advice too. You can find us online at northernpowerfutures.com. If you have an issue you'd like some help with, or if you'd like to sponsor an episode, please do get in touch. You can email us at hello@northernpowerfutures.com or find us on Instagram at northernpowerfutures or Twitter at NP_futures. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast from Northern Power Futures and United Utilities. The Northern Power Futures podcast is a What Goes On Media production.